wiggle, wiggle, what I saw. What you see? As I win, not a draw. As a lead with the family up to.
On this episode of Molding the Clay podcast, we're discussing love after the wreckage, where healing meets honesty and love gets redefined.
Welcome back, y'all, to the Molding the Clay podcast, where we discuss everything relationships, y'all. Hey, baby. You look beautiful.
Thank you. You look so bad yourself.
I appreciate it. I got a little haircut.
You look curly, fro.
I walked around for like 2 months looking like who did it and why.
You did, like you did not belong to not a person.
Girl, you better claim me. I belong to you.
I'll fix it out. I see.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it, baby. Y'all, so on today's episode, we will be discussing love after wreckage. Because sometimes after the storms of betrayal, loss, heartbreak, or trauma, love feels unreachable or even impossible. But what if the wreckage wasn't the end of the story? What if love, true healing, could rise from the ruins? Let's talk about what it looks like to find love after everything you thought would destroy you. Because the wreckage isn't the end. It might just be the beginning. Molders, please welcome our special guests, Corii and Dom, to the Molding the Clay podcast.
Hey.
Welcome, y'all.
We're so happy y'all came and sat on our couch.
Absolutely.
It's good to be on the couch.
And we're grateful. We're grateful.
How y'all feeling today?
Amazing. And
Y'all
a little
look-
nervous, I'm gonna be honest.
Don't be nervous. You talking to your homies. Don't be nervous. Just act like you in the living room talking to your homies.
Yeah. We want y'all
Conversation
to
we have
feel
all
as
the time.
comfortable as you need to be. You know, we're not gonna discuss nothing that you don't want to talk about. We want everybody to feel comfortable. Okay, but it's gonna be good conversation.
It is. And believe it or not, y'all, we are always everybody's first podcast.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like we never know until they come on. They be like, y'all was our first podcast we ever did.
Yeah.
And we just grateful to have y'all though.
Yeah, absolutely.
We
So
grateful.
tell us a little bit about you too. Where you're from, you have kids, how long you've been together. Just let's give our viewers a little
Let me
bit
sit up.
I'm
about
gonna
you.
go first, honey.
Yes, is you nervous?
Don't do her like that.
So I'm Dom. I'm originally from the Raleigh area, North Carolina.
Okay.
Okay.
I went into the military right after high school.
Appreciate
Kinda
your
dibbled and dabbled,
services. Yeah.
of course. Dibbled and dabbled. After I got out the service, I ended up contracting after we decided, well, not we, but my previous relationship, we decided to start a family, so I came home. And then from there, I was kind of just working from home, trading in the foreign exchange market, teaching people how to trade and stuff like that. But yeah, then after all that transpired, which we'll get into, I decided to move to Atlanta where, I found this beauty. So
And she is beautiful.
Thank you.
But tell us about you, Corii.
Well, I'm Corii. I'm born and raised from Atlanta, Georgia. I have 2 kids. I would say I'm an entrepreneur. I dibble and dabble a lot of things. I have a nonprofit I had for 7+ years. But I'm going through a transition right now. But I just love giving back. I'm just a generous person.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, I'm a mom and a wife,
Okay.
So you a Grady baby. You was born a Grady.
I sure was.
Grady baby.
Let me tell you something about these Grady babies.
Uh-oh.
I love me a Grady baby. Every person that I have met that is from Atlanta is the shit.
Okay.
Like, for real.
You I'm gonna say I barely
It's
meet
very rare.
anybody from Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's from Atlanta. Yeah. I very rarely
Yeah.
meet anybody that's from Atlanta.
They are awesome people, though.
There's a lot of people that move here from everywhere, so
Yeah.
sometimes it is rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a big
Yeah.
melting pot. So how did y'all meet? And what were you both carrying when you entered the relationship with each other?
You want me to go?
go ahead, you got it.
Okay, so we both met on a dating app.
Okay.
It was new for the both of us. I went into it with trying to meet friends. I was like, I need new friends because I was on my spiritual journey. I completely cut all my old friends off and going through healing. So I was looking for friends and I met her. I slid into her DM.
Ooh. Ooh. You are the first woman I met that actually took credit and was like, I slid in her DM.
She was bold. Like, she
Yeah.
was she said that she was completely out of her comfort zone, and I can tell now. Like she tried to act like she shy, but yeah, it was our first time. Kind of like her, I was looking for people like me. I was looking for somebody that was masculine presenting, so I can go kick it with. So every female that was like in my DM on some other stuff, I was just deleting. Like I didn't want to talk, but she had a different approach.
Yeah.
And so with the approach, it was just like natural conversation. She had some business about herself, and so. Because I swore up and down I would never date anybody from Atlanta. Like, Atlanta girls got their own statistic that and the stigma that I didn't want nothing to do with.
Yeah.
And I wasn't looking for it, you know?
Right.
And so it was just natural conversation, and I decided to give her my phone number afterwards. So,
Okay.
And y'all been locked in ever since. How long y'all been together?
August will be 2 years.
That's what's
It
up.
feels like forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Of course it does. It's going to always feel like it's forever. But, you know, I realize that when you meet somebody out of the norm and it just happens out the blue, normally those are relationships that kind of last. And you really, truly know and find like really true love like that for real. Because me and my wife, it just came out of nowhere, like thin air.
Yeah. It sure did. We wasn't looking for each other, but we found what we was
That's
looking
how
for.
it was for us too. We was not looking. It just happened.
That's the best type of love.
I was done.
So let's talk about that, Dom. You can't do it done. So, you know, we talked about, you know, both of y'all's previous situations before each other and how you all had to heal and get over trauma before meeting each other. So talk a little bit about that. How was that for you first, Dom, and your previous relationship and what you dealt with?
So I was committed to the same person for like 15 years. We were high school sweethearts. And, you know, we had our times. Like, it wasn't all bad. But when we ended up getting married in 2016, it kind of just... Like, there was a point in time where she would remind me, like, oh, I didn't want to get married, or I wasn't ready for marriage. My thing was, well...
Why you do it?
Why you say I do, right? You know, personal reasons for her, what she was saying. Then later down the line, she'll come back and say, well, I did love you, and I did want to marry you and stuff. And then it was just fidelity. Just constant fidelity. And I will forgive her. Because, like, this is what I wanted, right? Like, I want a marriage. I want a family. I just want to, you know, do great things in life together, right? But it didn't work out. And so, again, it wasn't all bad, but towards the end, like, it definitely, like, we changed. We grew apart. And she would constantly tell me sometimes, like, I don't think we should be together. I think you should move on. But again, like, in my mindset, if you're in a marriage, you're supposed to try to stick it out. You're supposed to try to work it out.
Right.
But also, like, this person's not showing me I truly want to be out of it. Because anybody that truly want to be out of something, they gonna dip out, right?
Right. They out. I'm done.
Yeah. And so the fidelity came about when I was contracting. She ended up having intercourse with somebody else that she ended up getting pregnant.
Damn.
And I decided to stay. I wanted a family, so I decided, because we was already talking about
having kids.
Doing it. And so I decided to stay, but even after that, like, the fidelity just kept going. So moving here, we were both in the military, so we was in Mississippi prior to this. And after she got out, I decided, like, look, I'm ready to move back closer to family, closer to home, which is North Carolina, but my sister lives here. And so I'm thinking, like, you know, we had already kind of separated 2 years prior to, so we got divorced in 23 or 24. We got divorced March of 24. And so 2 years prior to that, we kind of had already separated, tried the therapy and stuff like that. But I've been in this kid life since she was born. Like, I signed the birth certificate. This is my baby.
This your baby,
So moving here, like, that was the hardest thing. Even trying to get away from it before, it was always the baby. Like, I wanted to be there for the baby. I wanted to work for the baby. And so, it was literally months after we got here that I came here first in March. She and the baby came in May after she graduated from pre-K. And then I think in July, it was a wrap. So I kind of already was detaching from the relationship. Because I was already going through those grieving stages. Like, it's not really working. Like 2 years prior. And so when it happened, I was kind of numb. So I was just like, I'm over it. Like, I'm tired of begging somebody to love me, essentially. So
how was that for you being able to accept or forgive somebody that went and had a baby on you like that? Like how were you even able to forgive to still want to be with her like that? That's a question I feel like a lot of people will want to know, because I don't know if I will be able to
Do you feel like you ain't love yourself?
I definitely lost myself.
Yeah.
Like, I can definitely say that I lost myself. I was accepting stuff, meaning like, if you talking to somebody else and I know you talking, I'm like, can you at least stop talking to them at 10 o'clock? And when I started realizing that stuff, that's when I was wanting to leave, and I tried to. But it was never the right time. I believe in divine timing.
Right.
So I definitely prayed about it numerous times. But for me, it's regardless of how much somebody loved me, it's the amount of love that I radiate, right? And the amount of patience that I have. Now, when I go back, sometimes I'm like, Dominique, now what?
We ought to have that conversation like that. Like, damn. Yeah, we all had those moments.
Maybe mentally or emotionally or psychologically, I wouldn't been in the right headspace if I tried to do what I did then.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of people look at it and say, dang, you was dumb, you was stupid, and call you whatever name. But for me, it was just timing. And so it was the perfect timing when I did. And again, obviously, like, I wouldn't even met Corii if the times wasn't, it didn't align.
Yeah.
Because if I would have tried to leave in 2019 and then come up to Atlanta and stuff, I probably would have been like, nah. And my first thought, even when I met her, I was like, I'm going to just go contract again. I'm going to go live overseas and, you know, just do my thing, take care of my baby from a distance, see her when I can see her. But yeah, I just say it's just the amount of love that I have for people and the patience.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand that, though.
Like,
I definitely wouldn't say that you were stupid or dumb. I would never say that, because I feel like people do things that you wouldn't even think or imagine that you would do when you love somebody.
Until you in that situation.
Right.
Until you in the situation,
Yeah.
right? So you can never judge somebody for the decisions that they made, because obviously the love was real for you. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I definitely can applaud you for that.
Thank you.
Because a lot of people would not be able to do that.
Oh, no, you're right. A lot of people, especially heterosexuals, right? Like, a lot of people probably would have tried to commit a crime or murder. Yeah. And I'm not saying that, like, I wasn't hurt in these times. And I expressed, you know, like, I didn't feel respected or I was hurt behind the situation. But it just had to be God's grace to allow me to move past that every time.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about it is, Corii, so you were dealing with something when Dom was going through what she was going through in your prior relationship.
In my prior relationship, it wasn't to the
extent
her, but my previous relationship, she had just got out of a 6-year relationship. She was engaged, and her ex had a baby on her. So I felt like her coming into a relationship with me, she wasn't healed. So I pretty much got the backlash from the relationship. So it was like, I felt like I dealt with somebody that was insecure and was still trying to heal at the same time. Because, you know, I was always get accused of certain things. And, you know, it was a lot. Like, I went through a lot. Like, it was verbally abusive and it was domestic violence. You know,
that is never okay.
It's never okay. And, you know, I don't want to point the blame on her when it comes to domestic violence, because I did put my hands on her too, you know, but, you know, it got to a point where I had to go to jail in front of my child, and I never been to jail. Never.
Yeah.
So that was very traumatizing for me and my child. Like, it was very traumatizing. Like, it was stuff going on in a relationship, like, I didn't see it, but everybody around me was like, Corii, that's not for you. It was so bad to my kids' father was wanting to put their hands on her. My friends wanted to put their hands on her, like, and they was like upset because they were like, I deserve so much more. Yeah. And I, you know, so because of the type of person I am, but I didn't see it. You know, I was so in love, you know, but I'm thankful for that relationship, because without that relationship, I wouldn't be the person where I am today. That relationship kind of helped me heal. It kind of helped me understand and set boundaries when it comes to a new relationship. Like, it kind of like made me like, okay, like, I need to wake up. Wake up. Like, you need to set boundaries. Like, you are worth so much more. Don't settle.
I'm sure it helped you learn what to accept and what not to accept moving forward. But we also don't ever know what things are, and we miss things when we're in a relationship. And we might not see it, and other people will see it all day. And no matter how many times they tell us, we not gonna see
Cause you in love.
Cause you in love.
And that's your one.
Yeah.
And you gonna make it do what it do.
Yeah.
All day. But so when you two got together, so when y'all ended and you two got together, in the beginning, how was it for y'all in the beginning, being that both of y'all had just got out of these traumatic situations?
I think we was both very intentional. And so because we was very intentional of like what we wanted and what we was looking for, like it was easy. Like naturally, like we was talking, like just getting to know each other, dating, right? Easily felt like this was my dog. I'm like, all right, we cool. Like, we friends.
You don't see her with that big smile on her face. She just cheesy.
I'm like, this is my dog. So we would kick it. She was very adamant about linking up.
Yeah.
Like, she wanted to make sure this wasn't no catfish. So, like, even on the dating app, she, like, send me a picture.
FaceTime me or something.
So, that's, I mean, it was a build-up. Yeah. So, she, like, send me a picture, send me a voice note, right? She want to put a voice to the name or to the face. And then, I think at that point, that's when I was like, all right, I want to get off this app. So, I gave her my number. And then we eventually would send the voice notes there. And then she was like, all right, FaceTime me. And a few days later, it was just like, okay, I want to see you. And I was like, this Atlanta, I don't know.
Let me send somebody my location so they can know how.
My sister had my location, but it was just so many signs as to why, like, she was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't give me any red flags, and still to this day, like, it's no red flags with her.
That's good.
I thought it was too good to be true. I was like, who is this? You know what I'm saying?
We don't argue. We don't argue. We haven't had not one argument. I think people think that's, like, unbelievable, but it's real. Like, we don't argue. And I think it's too because she is very patient. Like, I'm the oldest, but I'm learning from her to have patience. I've never met anybody that had as much patience as she do. So it's like she helped me and she teaches me to have more patience.
Yeah. I understand that. Because my wife teaches me how to have more patience.
It's it. Both of y'all can't be. Both of y'all can't be on 10. Or somebody got to will it in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
She's always the calm to my storm.
Yes.
Anyway,
I think that's what it is in a relationship. Balance. You got to have balance. Everybody can't be. You know.
Yeah.
It's got to be balance.
Yeah.
It's hard to put fires out these days.
It is.
But I think you also have to learn how to choose your battles too, because everything doesn't have to be an argument. You know, you have to know how to agree to disagree and compromise on a lot of things. Certainly when you're married, you know, it takes a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of patience.
So Corii, what was it like for you? Because I'm sure that Dom, you probably had like some reservations dating again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Especially experiencing the infidelity that you went through. Was it difficult to get Dom to trust you or to open up and let that wall down? Or was it like she was already ready and she just knew?
When we first met, funny story, when she told me her birthday, I immediately said, oh, red flag. Oh, no, I start to run. She has the same birthday as my ex who I had the traumatic relationship, the same exact birthday.
Oh.
So when she told me that, I was like,
oh, man.
I was like, I need to run. Like, go.
She told me that too.
Yeah, and then I thought about it, I'm like, I can't be like that because everybody's not the same.
Yes,
and like I said, I was going through my healing journey and I don't really associate with zodiac signs anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I went with my heart and my first mind, and she's amazing, a totally different person. But so I was open to it because when we was talking, she was a family oriented, and that's what I wanted. Like, I'm ready to be somebody's wife. You know, so that's what I thought that was gonna be in my last relationship. But when somebody want to do something, I notice they gonna do it. They're not gonna play around. They're not
Absolutely.
gonna drag you along or have an excuse. If somebody want to do something, they really gonna do it. So I noticed, she was very family oriented. So I was like, yeah, this is for me. She's for me.
Yeah.
So,
She came in intentional.
yes.
Yeah, that's always a blessing. Yeah, my baby came in intentional. So.
Yeah. But sometimes, I ain't gonna lie though, not with my wife, because I think when we went through our separation with our exes, I think at that point we knew what we wanted. And I think a lot of times when you know what you want, you know what I'm saying, you can tell in that moment like, nah, this ain't for me. Because a lot of females tried to talk to me after I went through my divorce, and I was like, nah, like you just instantly no. But then when I met my wife, I was just like, yeah, she the one.
Yeah.
That's exactly
You know what I mean?
it is though. Like you've been through the storm, right?
Yeah, so you know.
You exactly.
When
you
some
know
raindrops hit,
instantly-
you like, hell no. Hell no, I'm going back in the house.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. And for me, like people used to call me a mute because I would just sit back and observe. And again, you said you got to pick and choose your battles. So like, I'm gonna be quiet, but that don't mean I'm not paying attention. That doesn't mean that I'm not calculating my next move. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So even with Corii, like I don't like surface level answers.
Oh yeah.
Do not. If I'm asking you how you doing, you talking about I'm okay. I want to know more.
Yeah.
Like why are you just okay? Why you not great? Right? And so I had to like pull information out of her initially.
Yeah.
Like, and she said that's like she got prayers written down, affirmations, different stuff like that. And she was like, she wanted somebody that was great at communicating.
That's big.
And that's not something that I was taught. Like, I have no idea why I'm so good with communication these days, but it's not something I was taught. And so with her, I was just like, no, we're not doing this. Even if she would have like early on, if it was a slight bit of miscommunication, she have an attitude, I pulled up on her because I'm like, I'm not going for that. Like,
right.
if we gonna do this, like we gonna do it.
Right.
We adults, and
We should be able to have conversation. Yeah.
Exactly. For me, I'm like, you older than me. You know what I'm saying? She ain't that much older.
No,
I always call her my
Kruger.
She my baby cougar.
Shut your
She a
ass.
cougar. She older than me. She a cougar.
It's
You know
just
what?
about 2
And
years.
listen, I
She
love it
4
though.
years, my senior.
Lie.
She 4 years.
2 years for you too.
Yeah, it's probably like 2.5.
No, baby, 4.
I was just
Oh.
I'm gonna need you to
A strong
Yeah.
3.
continue.
we like right at 2 because she a month and a day after me. So.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, she was very mature to like she was so open minded with everything. Whereas like previous relationship, sometimes I felt like I couldn't get a word out. You know what I'm saying? It was always like a
battle.
battle. And so again, like I'm very calm. And so when I say I lost myself, like I'm even arguing to an extent where that's not how I grew up.
Not you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my mama the type to cry when somebody mad at her. I'm not like that, but I just, you know what I'm saying? Like I was so used to like what I didn't realize was toxic at the time. And then going for somebody that's just like, okay. Like I'm listening or I can check her on anything. And
And
she
it be
cool
just
with
that.
it. Yeah.
The conversation.
Because she know I'm coming from like love. I'm not trying to like
Yeah.
be disrespectful or anything, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So what was one of the hardest truths that you had to tell each other in the beginning, early on?
I had to tell her that I was going through a divorce. Like I
How long
literally,
did you wait?
it was like same day.
Oh.
Like we started having conversation on the app, right? And then she started she got straight to it. She was telling me what type of person she was, what she was looking for. And she was like, I don't date for short term. I was like, oh, well.
Okay.
I was like, I ain't looking for nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So instantly at that point, I was like, I'm ready to dip out. Like, we can end this conversation now. But I took the opportunity. I said, well, let me reintroduce myself. And then I told her, and I was like, this is what I got going on. I was like, look, I'm married, going through a divorce. I got a kid. I'm trying to move forward. I ain't really looking for no relationship right now, but I'm cool with going with the flow.
How did you feel, Corii?
At first, I'm like, not again.
Dot, 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 dot. Is what I'm saying.
I was like, not again, because, you know, my previous was just got out of a relationship. And I'm like, is God testing me this time? Because I'm like, I feel like I'm going through the same thing again. So I'm like, is this a test? And I'm like, maybe this a test. And, you know, I was open-minded to it because, again, you can't really look at people and expect the same thing. Like, you can't do that. So that was my mindset. I was just like, okay, I'm going to give it a chance. She was, and I like that she was honest. Most people hide that. So if she laying that out on the table, I said, that's a trust. You know, so I was just like,
Leading
okay,
with the honesty.
I'm going to give it a shot. So, I mean, I'm real, like, free-spirited. Like, I'm not really judgmental or nothing like that either. So,
That's me too.
I took upon it. I mean, I used to be real free spirit, but I didn't calm down now. I'm real free spirit, but I'm a lady. I'm chill now. I'm a little chill. But I'm being honest.
That's what I could appreciate about her.
Sound like me.
Because I was nervous to sell her, but I was like, I just got to be honest with her.
That's good.
Because I'm not finna lie to nobody. Like I'm like, we too grown for that.
Yeah.
To be lying about my situation, and I'm not trying to sneak around or nothing. So I was very open with it, and when she was receptive to it, like and I always tell her like, you are who and what I needed at a time that I didn't even realize I needed it. Mm-hmm. Like she became a safe space, and it even took my sister telling me like, it's okay for you to feel two different emotions at the same time. Mm-hmm. You can be grieving or sad and then find joy, peace, and happiness at the same time. And so like she created all of that for me. And again, I wasn't expecting it, but I could be going to work and somebody call my phone on some BS, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, been there.
And then she send me like a quote, or she'll send me like a podcast, or she'll send me a sermon that somebody preached or something. That's like
dope.
That. So every time I needed her, like she was just there. She showed up every time.
Yeah.
I think that's what turned me on about her. Like I was at work and she just out the blue sent me a prayer. I was at work. I told my coworker, I was like, Lord, she's praying for me. Lord, this one right here, I said, I'm going to marry her. Ooh, that did something to me. That turned me on.
That's a different type of intimacy right there.
I was going through my spiritual journey. Like, I was getting in tune with God, like, on a serious level. When she did that, that sent chills through my body. I cried. I was at work. I told my car, I said, this gonna be my wife. She did something to me.
Yeah, I bet.
That's a different, when somebody pray for you, that's a different type of intimacy right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When somebody pray for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife prays for me every morning. I know sometimes she probably don't think that I know that she's doing it or realize. No, because it'll be like 3:00 in the morning and I'll be knocked out sleeping. I feel her roll over. And when she rolls over and she holds me, I know that's when she's praying for me, and I automatically wake up instantly.
She do,
and I grab her hand.
She grab my hand.
Know what she's
I'll
doing.
be like, damn, how she know? Why she ain't sleep? How she know? Because God just wake me up in the middle of the night lately, and I get up like
you're trying to communicate.
So like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, I just wake up and I can't go back to sleep, and I try not to wake her up, so I just put my hand on her thigh or something. And I think it was this week. I did that one day this week. And it was crazy because as I was praying for her, as soon as I put my hand on her thigh, she grabbed my hand and held it while she was asleep. And I was like, God, what you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she wants to know I'm praying for her. You know what I mean? But it's a different type of intimacy when you go to God on behalf of your partner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how long after your divorce did you go get your baby? Was you like, I'm going to get her?
She so it was, unfortunately, it was periods of time like I had to stop talking to her, and it was like
stop talking to Corii.
No, you saying when you say go get your baby?
How long did you go get Corii before you went and got Corii after you got finished with your?
Oh no, she gave me the ultimatum. So like we were dating, right? We were dating. I was separated. Anybody wondering? I was separated, right? And we were dating, and I think it was it December or January?
I think it was before January because I told you got before the New Year.
Yeah. So it had to be like probably December, because fun fact, like I'm a veteran, and the first time I actually celebrated, she like flew me out.
That was nice.
She flew me out to Chicago. So yeah, it had to be December. And I remember I had just went over there and we were sitting on the couch and we was talking. She got upset. Like she started crying. I was just like, what's wrong? Like what's going on? She was like, she don't feel like she had all of me. And she didn't have nothing holding her back. Like she was single, she was free will, like she ain't got no drama nowhere, right? But for me, I was still going through it. And so she was like, you got before the New Year to get this thing taken care of. Now it ain't happened on the New Year, but she was still patient. And like she still loved me. Like when I'm crying because I can't see my baby, or she getting ready to take my baby away, or whatever the case may be, like she was there to comfort me. She was there to be patient with me. So like same way she was like, I'm gonna marry her, like I'm like, dang, I can't let this one go. Because you don't find women that's gonna do that.
Right.
It don't matter if you heterosexual, you in a lesbian relationship, it does not matter. Like you got to be a real mature woman to like
Yeah.
actually accept somebody for what they got going on, stick it out without. I mean, I'm talking about she ain't argue with me, she ain't rush me. She just told me like, and it's because like her boundary, and I
Yeah.
respected that.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing that I could say is she.
Let me tell you how that's your baby, how that's your wife. She crying and smiling at the same damn time. Looking at you crying and smiling at the same damn, and I ain't even got no tissue. We only have some Kleenex. But that's so sweet.
That's so
Oh, y'all got
sweet.
my eyes over here goddamn watering.
I just love a good love story.
Yes.
Like I really do. I love a good love
Yes.
story. I love to hear. That's why I was so excited to get y'all on this show, because I just feel like our viewers need to see and hear a good love story.
Because people think that when you go through the worst of the worst, that it's
Yes.
over, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying?
And
But
it's hard for you to love again.
people don't know that a lot of times God got to take you through the worst to get the best to you, because if he give you the best, sometimes you ain't going to appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And you're not going to know what you're not going to know that it was sent from him. So the fact that, you know what I'm saying, that y'all were able to get broken, because I know when kids involved, that can break you down. When you got to work away from a household, that can break you down. And then Corii as well, being in a domestic relationship, you know what I'm saying, and having to surrender yourself in front of your kids and go like that's traumatic things that happen that can scare you away from love altogether, to be like, I don't want to deal with nobody, fuck this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the fact that y'all can look beyond that and have patience in the beginning with each other and love each other through that trauma, like that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because y'all can literally say, I seen you at your worst.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And still have patience with each other, even after 2 years, to still have those patience, baby.
That's real though.
So how
We still go through it.
So how
You have it. It's in there.
you better she
You gotta get it right.
she better go get it somewhere. So how is it, like, as far as, because I know it's hard when you have to, because I had to walk away from a situation. I'm had a divorce, you know what I'm saying, like years ago. Me and Tiana been together 13 years, so I had a divorce before Tiana. I was married before Tiana. We was together 9 years. Tiana was married as well. You know what I'm saying? She was married for like 10 years to her ex-wife. We ended up divorcing at the same time. We didn't know each other though. Like, we didn't know. That's just how God worked. We divorced at the same time, and then once we healed and we was ready, we found each other, and we wasn't even
technically,
looking.
we did not divorce at the same time. We separated at the same time.
Facts. I divorced first,
Yeah, you divorced first.
and you was just
And a
separated.
lot of people do not know this. This is a fun fact. Kind of not a fun fact, but a fact. Fun fact. I did not get my divorce from my ex-wife was not finalized until the day before we got married.
Hell
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Oh wow.
We had to put it in it had, because like when you can't locate somebody,
You gotta put it
they
in the
put it in the
newspaper.
newspaper. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
we
yeah.
like, she was just like, that whole week of our wedding, she was like panicking.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, baby, I want to marry you. This shouldn't hold me back. This, that, and the other. But our lawyer, we had a bomb ass lawyer, and we paid a lot of money. So he did what he was supposed to do.
Cracked her ass right on down. Yeah, and it happened that Friday. But you know what's funny about it is, as long as we were together, we never pressured marriage though. It was never something that we pressured. And so, and because we did not pressure that or really just talked about it, the divorce was not at the top of my list.
Right.
Not even for her either, because it wasn't going to stop us from being together. We was going to be together regardless. But when marriage did come up and she finally proposed, I was like, okay, let me go and do this, because clearly she not gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, okay, let me go on and spend this money to get it done, you know. But that was hard. Like, I mean, it was easy for me. I was ready for it to happen because I was ready for that ties to be gone. But I never thought that I would even want to be married, because my ex relationship was very traumatic. You know, it was abuse there, physical, emotional, all of that was there. And we was together for 10 years, but we was only married for a year.
Oh wow. Wow.
A year of being married, and it ended.
Wow.
But I'm glad that it did, because that marriage showed her true colors for real. And
Absolutely. And she said she had you tied down, and so that was it.
Yeah.
She get to do what she want to do.
Yeah.
Show her real quick.
Yeah.
And I was so big on marriage that
Yeah.
before me and Tiana did anything, I had to make sure all them papers were signed. And I don't know why I'm like that. I guess it's my values and stuff like that. But because Tiana tell you before we did anything, like I had to make sure that I signed them papers. And that was like months in. I was working on it, finalizing, because I don't like leaving loose ends out there. We done. You know what I'm saying? Be done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But my point to you, Dom, is because I was saying that we had 2 kids together. We have 2 kids together. In which our co-parenting relationship is amazing. Like our youngest that we have together, she just graduated high school. So it's a
blessing.
I appreciate it.
Co-parenting is a
Yeah, so
blessing.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
We do us 3. They like best friends.
Oh, I seen that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
seen that.
Yeah. They
I
like-
told Brittany, I said, I love that. I wish we could get on that page, but
Yeah, it'll happen. It's a lot of. I just had to completely I tell everybody this. I had to completely take myself out of it and just let them 2 deal. When it came to like interactions, when my daughter was young, my wife would pick her up from my ex-wife, and then you know what I'm saying, that allowed them to build a relationship. And then we started slow, like we started spending holidays together, like Christmas together, Thanksgiving, and it took them being adults too, being grown women. You
I
know what I'm
think
saying?
that's probably easy for y'all because it's probably no more feelings involved and no more bitterness or resentment.
Yeah,
We got other stuff going on back. It'd be
So are you not allowed to even see your daughter?
I can see her, but she lives in Texas now.
Oh yeah,
And so, like,
that's the hard part.
I was asking for patience to transition, right? My baby deal with eczema, asthma, allergies, all of that real bad. And so at the time, it wasn't ideal for her. I always put her first. So you can ask her. Everything I did, it was just me making sure that she was placed first. If I would, she didn't meet her until God knows, I don't even know when, but I wouldn't bring her around. I have a niece that's literally like 4 months to the day that's the same age. And so if I did get her for the weekends, I would take her to my sister's house and stuff like that. But I haven't seen her since, what was it, November of last year, because they moved to Texas. And so that's the thing, like our situation is a little bit tricky, right? Like I'm not gonna speak on how mature she is or how
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Facts.
I don't know what it is,
Facts.
but it's not as simple as, hey, I'm gonna let you go meet up with that, because
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak on somebody else's feelings or what they got in their mindset.
I think you should tell the truth.
I think she's mature, right? Like I think she's very mature. She's willing to have.
I can see that.
Yeah, like
can see her being very-
she wants that. You know what I'm saying? Like she wishes that we could co-parent the way
Because she probably sees that it hurts you,
I told her.
and she doesn't
literally
like
told me
seeing
this,
you
like,
hurt.
last
You know what I'm saying? Because my daughter long distance, so it was like a meetup. Like we meet halfway, or I get her from holidays, and she go back home.
But the thing is, she has to be willing to do that, though,
Facts.
because I'm sure you would be willing to do
Facts.
it. But
And it's not that she said she wouldn't, but we also are dealing with schedules too now.
No.
2 different time zones. as
Let's
well
tell the
as-
truth. Hold on, wait a minute.
What truth?
The truth is, I really think why all of this is going on because her ex-wife is in a relationship with her old best friend.
Oh damn!
Oh well, yeah. That's
that's
her.
your old best friend.
Yes.
So it was somebody we went to high school with, and some stuff happened like because we all were in the military. Some stuff happened like when we was deployed. So me and the best friend stopped hanging out. She stopped talking to her for years, and they rekindled stuff like 4 years ago now, I think. And the whole healing journey we all went on. Obviously, everybody go on this journey, right? She apologized. I even apologized to the girl. Like, if I did anything wrong to offend you, hurt you, or whatever, when I know excuse me.
You go.
I know damn well I ain't do nothing, right?
Right.
You did something with my spouse.
Right.
And so I let it be. She said she asked me, she was like, hey, I just want you to know that I reached out to this person. So I'm like, all right, cool. Shoot, maybe I'll reach out too if this is what we doing, because we was in therapy, we was healing.
Right.
But she was always guilty of leaving lines of communication open. So I can apologize to you, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Facts.
If I want to continue the relationship, then you keep that line of communication open, right? But to my knowledge, I thought she just apologized and let that be that. But obviously, they was rekindling stuff. So I later found out, like, when she would go back home to North Carolina, she was going up there for other friends' birthday and stuff.
Yeah.
They was spending time together. I don't know how often.
Wow.
And then I think the icing on the cake was just when we moved here a few months later, that July, our baby was getting ready to start school. I just started a new job when I came here and stuff. And she was going on a girls' trip with her battle buddies. Now, she don't went on the same type of trip with her battle buddies before. I got pictures, videos, FaceTime. That wasn't the case. And, you know, when you spiritually connected to somebody, you got a feeling. Like, I had a gut feeling, but I was going to let her go. But then I was waking up 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 nights in a row. I ain't talking about 2 days in Texas. I'm talking about a whole week.
Yeah.
And so when she got back, like, we had to have a conversation. I'm still doing my part as a great spouse, a parent. And, yeah. Like, she like, oh, this person made me feel loved. Like, what the fuck I make you feel like that? You know what I'm saying?
Wow, yeah.
And so that was the last straw for me.
Because, like, that's what did it.
Yeah.
Now, like, if I wanted to air out some stuff, like, it's some stuff that really should have took me over the edge, right? But that's not my character.
Facts.
So,
Facts.
but that, it was just, I don't know what it was. I think, again, you get to a point where you just understand, like, all right, I deserve better than this. You don't respect me, clearly. You don't care about what we got going on. And so I was just like, I'm done. And she looked me in my face when she got back. She looked me in my face and she said, you gonna leave me one day. And I didn't say nothing. I couldn't. Like, because I knew it already, but it's not like I'm like, yeah, I am. And so I was just ready. I was ready for the divorce. Mentally, I was just like, I can't keep doing it. And emotionally. And I was just continuously putting myself last. So that's her logic behind it, that maybe it's because she know who she with.
Think this, yeah.
Because this person was around my family, her family. Like, everybody knows who this person is. I don't care, though.
Because you got a beautiful queen sitting next to you, and you happy and you thriving.
We don't care, but I really think that's the reason why the child she's doing it, like leaning the child over her head because of who she's dealing with. But she doesn't care. Like, we don't care. We just want to see the baby.
Right.
We just want to be around the baby. Like, even if we all had to coexist. I just told her last night, I said, I don't care if you have to have a heart talk to her and tell her, like, I know who you're dating. Like, I don't care. I just want to spend time with my child.
Right.
Like, but it's like the person who she has a child with, she's not really comprehending it. Like, she's thinking of herself. She's not thinking about the child.
I say just you know what I'm saying, like, continue to pray. I say continue to pray about it.
Don't give
up. You know
up.
what I'm saying? Don't give up. Continue to pray about it. Ask God to, like, make it happen. And he will. He'll make it happen. He'll make it happen.
Because I was at that point. Like, I was like, I got to make the hard choice. Now, at first, it was because her mama. She was like, I can't deal with this. It's too much, right?
Yeah.
But then it got to the point where it's like I was calling. And, I mean, she's 6, though. But for me, as another adult, if the child is in my house, I'm going to make sure that even if I got to, every Tuesday at 7 o'clock, you're going to call your mama, call her.
Yeah.
And so she got to help foster that relationship.
Absolutely.
And
she's still young. Yeah.
I don't feel like it's equally doing, being done. So,
But
I still contact her.
You know that since you on a birth certificate, there's legal options that you.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
it's a lot of legal options out there. It's just
she don't want to do it.
I don't want to put the baby through that strain. And that's what it is. It's more so to protect her, because I know what it's like to go back and forth, and I don't.
You don't want to do that.
I'm not gonna do that.
Absolutely. I say just pray about it. Just pray about it. Ask God for direction and give you clarity on, how you should move in the situation. Because just as much as you missing the baby, like, I know for damn the baby missing you too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, y'all, what advice would you give to our Mojers that's listening to the podcast in regards to starting over and not giving up on love because of hardships you faced previous to finding your one?
You want to answer first?
I would say don't give up. Don't give up. Like, it's always somewhere out there for you. I know it's hard because I was at that point where I was like, I'm not doing this no more. Like, because that was the worst heartbreak I ever felt, and I didn't think my heart could heal. So I would say, just don't give up. It's someone out there for you. I would say, don't go looking, let it find you. That's my advice. Let it find you. Don't go looking, and heal. You have to heal. Like, you got to heal yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to set boundaries. So I would just say, don't give up. Don't.
I think for me is the biggest thing that I learned is resilience. And then I found peace and patience. Obviously, like it's so peaceful. They say the grass ain't green on the other side. Goddamn, it's purple. You
Right.
It's the rainbow. But no, seriously, like just being able to be patient and giving yourself grace. Like I had to give myself a lot of grace because I felt like, dang, maybe I'm not enough for somebody, right? But I had to really sit back and reconsider, like, dog, you know who you are, right? Like I know what I bring to the table. I know who I am as a person. And my ex would even say it, like, anybody would be lucky to have you.
Right.
So I know it wasn't me, right?
Yeah.
Not saying that I didn't have my own flaws or whatever, but it's just, again, being patient, giving yourself grace, and making sure you're resilient through it all. Because you don't get back up, you ain't never
And
gonna...
you big Dom, not the little one.
That's what I'm talking about. You see that cheerleader you got right now?
Always.
So y'all, tell the people where they can find y'all on social media platforms.
I'm just now, like, I've always been to myself, right? Low key, but I'm just now getting into it, trying to anyway. So both on Instagram and TikTok is _I am Dom. So IAMDOM. And then
I'm Corii, 3 underscores love on Instagram and TikTok.
how you spell Corii though?
CORII.
Okay.
We appreciate. Well, y'all, it was such a pleasure to have
y'all for sharing your
on.
story.
Thank you for sharing. I know it takes a
was
lot of
beautiful.
courage, especially when you moved on to go back to the past. But I definitely think our viewers will enjoy this conversation. Just having hope to know, like, damn, I'm going through it or I went through it, but it's hope in the future. So I appreciate y'all sharing y'all story.
No
We appreciate the
problem.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem at all. Well, y'all, that's our time. We appreciate y'all tuning in to the Mold and Clay podcast. Y'all know our motto: keep God and love first in everything you do, and He'll elevate your path like no other. Until next time, y'all, we out.
Go crazy. Life lately, but no, can't fake. You know, gotta mold this clay. Let go, can't fake. You know, gotta mold this clay. Let go. Wiggle, wiggle, what I saw.